Now I'm going to be showing you this fly here. This is a small CDC, Comparadun CDC wing type fly. It's a pattern I do extremely well with, and this one here, it's a wee bit rough looking like, but it catches fish. It's a nice pattern. You can tie in different colours and sizes using the same tying method. This is the darker olive, this is just a pale olive. You can tie many colours, browns and so on and so on. So, but this is this wee fly here, this has been fishing well for me recently, so I'm tying some more up. I'm actually putting a box together with some different dries, and you can see it too well. You'll see different types. These are all mainly spring-like flies, the bigger sizes, and autumn patterns. So, but anyway, this is a size. This is a fully mill hook. It's called the Ultimate Dry. This one here, Ultimate Dry by Fully Mill. And this one here is a size. It's a 16. Thread I'm going to be using is a Lt-Cahill. Now we simply just run the wax through to get it started. Just start the thread at the eye, come down, I usually come down to about the point of the hook, so I've got a base of thread down first for this top end. Come back up, and I'm going to basically stop it about 2/3 of the way back up. Now the combination of the deer here, the easiest way, this is the easiest way I find to tie it in. Now I've got some dyed, this is a light olive roe deer. I'm going to use these fibres for part of the wing and gives the impression of the legs as well. So cut away from the skin. I use vineyard dyes. Now this is olive dye, one of their main olive dye, but it's light. I don't put as much dye in it, so I get a nice lighter colour. Now I'm going to stack it. So I'm going to put it tips first into a small stacker. Just tapping the desk, and basically that will line up the ends for you. And remove it from the stacker. Make sure there's no broken ends before you tie it in. Actually got a couple here, so I'm going to take them out. It's a broken fibre. There's another one. So I say I'm going to tie this forward, so this is part of the wing, and as I say, it'll give the impression of the legs too. So basically you're looking for a shank length tied over the eye. Just catch that on the top, come down 3 or 4 turns. Now I start to break it off by pulling it tight. Eventually it breaks like that. And you just check your wing. You don't overdo it, don't put too much on. That's fine. Now you can use Coq de Leon or Coq Fibres for the tail, so dial up to yourself. I'm just using Coq de Leon. This is looking round about maybe, I like a good few fibres in. There's 6 fibres there. Tail length is up to yourself. I like tail at least the length of the hook in this case. So hold that, trim away the excess. Catch it on the top and tighten it. It's easier to tie it on the way down. Just keeping the fibres on top. Now you get to the back of the hook, just come underneath the fibres with a turn of the thread. Let them go then, and then pull towards the eye. And this will basically open out the fibres. And then do a turn on top. Just slightly, flares them slightly, but don't worry if it doesn't, it still works okay. Now I've got small CDC feather which I've dyed in the same dye. So white CDC which I've dyed with the same dye as I say as the wing, the deer hair. I don't need all these fibres, so I draw some of them back. Just catch this feather on the side, and then with this single turn, keep it loose, pull it into the tip of the feather. As close as you dare go, pull it right in. Now what I'm going to do is make sure there's wax on my thread, and then go up the body. Just stop it around about 1.5 mil from the wing. And then we wind up our CDC feather, which will form our body. A nice fine herl, plus it will help float the fly. Catch in at the top with 2 or 3 turns, and then we trim away. Now what we do as well, the remains of this feather, is we trim these off. And this is going to give us some dubbing. Don't throw it away, just trim it off and set it on your desk. Don't pull it off because you'll get wee white curls at the end of the fibre from the stem. You don't want that, so just trim it away. And you basically sit it on your desk, and what I do is just roll it within my fingers. You form a small ball of dubbing ready for the thorax. Then I'm going to put 2 natural coloured CDC feathers, 2 sort of medium to small. Just hunt for one here. Try and find a smaller one than these. I've got too big. There we go. So what we do is we just basically, there's a natural curve in these feathers, curving up. So we lay one on top of the other. So you've got basically 2 feathers, tips have lined up. Pull in the fibres with your fingers. You want it just about the same length as the deer here. So it's about the body length, or the shank of the hook, sorry. Just tie it on the top. Try and keep my fingers out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. Do a couple of turns and then we can check the length. That looks okay. Again, make sure you wax your thread so you get the grip there. Waxing your thread gives you grip and strengthens the thread. It makes it much better. But don't overdo it, just once, maybe twice at the most. That's why I keep the wax there. Now we've got our dubbing, which we cut away from the remains of the CDC feather. Just form part of the thorax at the back. Just make sure it's covered, that's fine. And then just put a wee bit more on. Take away the excess, just lift the wing, thread to the front, 2 or 3 turns. Then what we're going to do is split, an even split of fibre, CDC and deer hair, to form the wing. Just have to take your time, just check you've got the tips of CDC either side. It's quite hard to actually see. On this one it is. As long as you get a nice even split fibre, just press it with your thumb. I'm going to show you this once I'm finished. Just checking the deer here. You can see it underneath, you've got an even split CDC fibre there. You can see it from the top. Now what you're going to do to keep that apart is bring through one of these feathers. So just pull it through. And what I then do is pinch the wing. Use the tips of my nails just to hold the feather and do a pinch and loop. Do a couple of turns. If it feels a bit loose, you can always tighten it up. Do another one. Just at this point when you've got plenty of grip, just pull it. This will tighten it up. And then you come in, trim away the remains of your CDC. Take your time. This feather, the other feather, we can trim close to the back of the wing. There we are, just a wee check to see how it looks like. Now we can put a tiny bit of dubbing at the back, the front, sorry, if you want. I'll show you what you can do. You don't need much though. Just onto your thread. Tighten it up, lift the wing out of the way. Tidy up, just up against the wing. Again, put your wax on your thread. Then basically tidy up the head area with the thread. There we go. Now a wee bit of varnish on the thread, and then wet finish. It's the easiest way to varnish it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Just watch you don't catch any of the wing. Trim away your thread, and there we are. Just going to make sure the eye's clean. My dubbing needle here. Make sure there's no varnish. Use a piece of wire because it's a small hook, so just get a piece of wire here. Just going to put it through the eye. Make sure there's nothing sticking in there. And there we are. You can trim away, level up the thorax on the underside if you want. Or you can leave it, entirely up to you. And there we go. That's basically a nice light olive done. You get these in the water in all sizes, different species, and see, this style floats extremely well, very robust, and great fun to tie. Easy to tie. Once you've done a few, they're quite simple. Obviously the bigger they are, the easier to tie. But this is a good wee pattern, certainly worth having. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you enjoy the videos, please subscribe, and thank you for watching.